The 2010s decade will be over in 4 months. What do you think people will remember this decade for? The social media explosion. And the 20s will be the implosion. We're already sick of ourselves. Harambe lives in our hearts forever. Social media is effing insane. It gives the people so much power, and yet it also has so much power to manipulate the people. The rise of the smartphone. Everyone has access to the internet and can voice their opinion towards the world at any moment, with all the negative effects that it brings. IMHO. This is the biggest one. The iPhone came out in what? 2007? It was a solid year or two before you had traction there. Now, phones have pretty much replaced most people's home computers for menial tasks. I don't like this realization. The 90s are soon 30 years ago. It didn't even cross my mind to me until reading this post. I'm unable to compute the question because time is disappearing. Real headlines trying to outdo The Onion. That's never going to happen. The Onion headline about the president causing a controversy by drawing on a map with a Sharpie still cracks me up. That is the most Onion way of putting it. Kudos. My generation is going to be known for wanting to die in memes. Guess we can replace generation for decade. We're the doomer generation, not the millennials. Or maybe that's Gen Z. IDK. It's all a mess right now. The meme renaissance. People are gonna reminisce about how good the 2010s were. They may not seem good now, but just wait to see what the 20s have in store for you. Edit. I hate being right. Oh no. Honestly, this happens with anything that happened 20 years ago. I can find forums from the 2000s saying that the 2000s suck, just for a decade later for them to miss it so much. Nostalgia is just a stupid fad. When the 2030s roll around and people are nostalgic for the 2010s, I'll just laugh in their faces. Social media influencers. Netflix streaming. It was available before 2010, but didn't get reliable until after. Swipe dating apps. The word online dating and dating sites are now swapped with the phrases dating apps. Obama, Trump. People will remember social media, but I have a very strong feeling nobody's going to give a s about these influencers anymore in the future. Obama, Trump, from 10 now feels like it's been 2 separate decades during the one. The death of traditional media. Printed newspapers and periodicals, broadcast television and radio are fading. And while digital music way predates the 2010s, it took until this decade for pop stars to stop selling albums. They aren't tallying CD sales anymore. They're counting unique streams. Their death will be in the 20s. They were still huge in the 10s, but began losing their revenue and popularity. I feel the final nail will come sometime around the halfway point. Looking forward to this thread being unearthed in 2029. Smiley face. I hope y'all are doing better than us. 2029 seems like 100 years away, but 2009 to now flew. I hope I'm done college by then and have a job, or I'll be in some trouble. All. The incredible rise of misinformation and irresponsible knee-jerk reaction choices on very serious topics. From a design, aesthetic standpoint, minimalism, flat design, mostly due to the rise of tablets and browsing the internet on mobile devices. Clean lines, simple colors like black, white and gray. TV commercials. Early 2010s ads are backed by upbeat xylophone, triangle, whistling, hand-clapping music, or people breakdancing or doing the worm to obnoxious dubstep music. The late 2010s have vivid colors and imagery, vaporwave-style aesthetics, and loud over-the-top spokespeople talking fast in the middle of the screen. Think Captain Obvious from the Hotels.com commercials or Terry Crews from the old S commercials. Entering a new golden age of automotive design. Almost every new car from the decade is elaborately styled. Car interiors with angular, intricate dashboards like the Ford Escape, Chevy Equinox or Hyundai Santa Fe. This might end in the 2020s as crash safety technology requires more new cars to look the same. And car interiors will replace dashboards and gauges with touchscreens. Thanks, Tesla. A move away from chain restaurants and the rise of food trucks and locally owned restaurants that all feature string lighting, outdoor tables with giant Jenga blocks, Edison bulbs, and a craft beer selection written on a chalkboard. All houses are painted in that greige color and have all white kitchens with that same white subway tile backsplash. There is probably a barn door, shiplap accent wall, and a fiddle leaf fig inside. The horrific turn the Area 51 raid took, resulting in hundreds dead and the unleashing of angry, captive aliens upon the world to exact their revenge on humanity. Don't forget the military being defeated by swarms of Naruto runners, leading to new arms limitation treaties banning the use of the Naruto run in any armed conflict. Go to the climate strike instead. It's happening all over on the same day. Sept. 20th. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. We've been at war for 18 years. Yeah, some kids who were born after 9/11 can enlist in the army now. Dude, we've been at war for over 100 years, just most of it didn't get much media attention. But we've had people out running missions in areas with men dying and the media was silent. From a video game standpoint, this is the decade of the indie explosion. Esports, battle royales and microtransactions. From a cinematic standpoint, this is the age of superheroes. Comic book movies dominated in the last decade and they are not going anywhere anytime soon. I think we'll eventually look back at superhero movies the way that we look back at cowboy movies. The wild switch from President Obama to President Trump. The say what you want, good or bad about either of them, but their ways of doing the job are very different in many ways. Edit. Thanks for the gold and silver. Whoever you are, you put that very politically neutral. I like it. In an episode of 538 Politics podcast, they speculated that Trump's election will either be an anomaly or the beginning or an entirely new era of American politics. I'm just hoping that the 20s will be the resurgence of gangster suits, black fedoras, and saying things like, "I'll punch you into mush," see, and leaning against a street lamp at night flipping a coin in the air with your thumb. They already tried bringing fedoras back in the early 10s. It wasn't a good idea. Ooh, yes. And calling women dames. And calling a finks, and if they're really bad, rat finks. They will remember how great summer 2016 was. Edit. I removed the comma. Edit 2. Wow, my first medal of any kind. Thanks, stranger. The first few weeks of Pokemon Go were magical. Wow, yeah? I remember thinking after the string of celebrity deaths that things were getting better by summer. And the world was on an upswing. I was very, very wrong. I think we all died after the summer of 2016. It hasn't been the same since. People ask me where I'm going to be in 4 months. I don't have 2020 vision. Jokes. I am waiting with bated breath to have the chance to sink my teeth into. I hate it when people ask me what I'll be doing in 0 years. Come on guys, I don't have 2020 vision. The clown epidemic of 16. That feels like a fever dream we all collectively had. I thought that was IT advertising. How about the epidemic of 16 in general? Nothing made sense that year.